Stampers, welcome to my crafting studio. I'm Nancy Novak of Stampin' Shout, and this week we are making cards with Stampin' Up's Inked and Tiled stamp set. And I have 5 cards to show you, 5 videos, so I'm here every day at noon. And today's card is a real cute card. I'm going to give you a sneak peek. This is the card we're actually going to make, so I stepped it up just a little bit, and you are going to love it. So let's make a card. Hi Stampers, it's Nancy from Stampin'shout.com. Welcome. Well, this week my featured stamp set is Inked and Tiled, and it's got a lot of botanicals and all occasion sentiments. So it's very versatile, very pretty, really easy to use. And I have 5 cards this week that I'm going to be sharing with you. Every day at noon, I'm going to do a video. My videos are short, so you don't have to worry about fast forwarding, because I'm going to do all the fast forwarding for you. So here's today's card, but we're going to change it up a bit. So we're going to do a different color, and we're going to add a little bit more texture to it. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. I haven't done it yet, so we'll have to see how it is. So let's see here. I'm going to do this one in Lost Lagoon. And I have white for the front, white for the inside, and I have a DSP and also another piece of Lost Lagoon and a little gingham bow. And the texture I'm adding is from the exposed brick embossing folder. So the paper I'm using is called Inked Botanicals, so it kind of goes with it. And here's my little fancy way of storing it. It's a 6x6 pack, so it fits fine into a zipper pouch. And let me just show it to you really quick. So I've been using a lot of it. So I put my scraps up in front, and in the back I have the little folder that comes with the paper. So the colors in here are Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, and Pool Party. So whenever I design a card, I kind of look at what colors are in the designer series paper and go from there. But look at the pretty paper. Very, very pretty. And it's easy to work with. So, I mean, like, you don't have to think too hard when you're making a card with this. But like I said, I've got some really, really cool cards to share with you this week. So let's make a card. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp right on the designer series paper. And I'm going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock. It's just a shade darker than the Lost Lagoon. I really want it to show up, but it's still all in the same tone. So it'll be pretty. So this is a big stamp, so I'm going to actually put my stamp block down and ink it up just like that. And then I'm going to bring my strip of designer series paper in, and I'm going to stamp right in the middle, from up to down and left to right. At least I'm going to get as close as I can. Oh yeah, that's very pretty. I love it. I love it. So let me clean my stamp off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my white piece. So I have my card base, that's Lost Lagoon. It's 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. Then I have 2 white pieces. I like the way that looks. So this piece is just a little bit bigger than this piece that I'm going to emboss. Don't worry about the sizes. I will have all that information on my blog. So after the video, you can hop over there and check it out. But what I'm going to do differently on this is I'm going to put these 2 pieces together. And then I'm going to bring in my embossing folder. And I'm going to line it up. So it's got that little line on here. It kind of helps you, just in case you want it nice and even. You know, some textured folders, it doesn't really matter if it's perfect. And this is one of them. It doesn't have to be exactly straight, but I'm going to try to get it in there nice and straight. Now I'm going to run it through the embossing machine, and I will be right back. So let's see what this looks like. You know, if I ever do something on here, like if I go off camera and I run this through the embossing machine, and you want to see that, just leave me a comment. Some people know how to do that, some people don't, and I would be more than happy to bring that right on camera and show you. But oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I'm going to hold it there for a second, let the camera get it nice and focused for you. That is really cool looking. I like it a lot. So now I am going to glue these two white pieces together. I'm going to glue the designer series paper to the cardstock that's got a little bit of an edge to it, and then we'll come back. Now I'm going to glue the white pieces to the front of our card. So I like the size of this. I like having the wider border of that cardstock showing through. And then this piece is going to go right there. You'll notice that the designer series paper from top to bottom is cut the same as the mat. So we just have a little bit of the cardstock showing on the left and right side. And you can either glue that down or you can pop it up on dimensionals. And I think I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. Looks like I'm to the end of my dimensionals. So whenever that happens, you just have to cut the edges, and you can use those. I'm going to use my pick-a tool, which has that little pointer for one of the tips, and I'm going to take off the backing of the dimensions. Now I'm just going to lay that right in the center. I have a little bow here, just like that. Now on this one, I went ahead and I stamped Hello Friend on the bottom. I think I'm going to leave this one, the front of it, I'm going to leave it blank. I really like the way this looks. It's really pretty with that texture on there. So I'm going to do the inside, and then we're going to talk about tomorrow's card. I think on the inside of this card, I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. And then I'm going to add a little strip of designer series paper. And I think I'm even going to texture this really quick. So I'm going to use that same embossing folder and run it through the embossing machine. So that has texture on it now, and I'm just going to glue it to the bottom of my card. And I think I'm going to fuss one more time, and I'm going to bring my stamp back in, and I'm going to bring in a scrap sheet, and I'm going to ink this up, and then I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to stamp right over this. So it's really faint, and the Happy Birthday shows through. Probably could have stamped off one more time, but I like it. So I'm going to put the two pieces of white together and then glue that to the inside of my card. So two different cards, same layout, totally different look, very pretty. This one we fussed just a little bit more by texturizing the designer series paper, which I really, really like that. And then we added the textured strip inside. So what do you think? Which color do you like? This is Crushed Curry, and this is Lost Lagoon. They're both very, very pretty. So tomorrow, I am going to show you guys something really cool, and we're going to use every one of the images. Well, we might not use the lined image tomorrow, but we're going to use the flower on the stems, the little tiny petals, the leaf, the single flower, and the little splush. I call that a little splush. So make sure you come on back tomorrow at noon. Don't forget to leave comments. If you leave a comment, you will be entered to win today's card. If you do like the yellow card, I will send you the yellow card, Crushed Curry card. Just let me know which color you like best in your comment. And if you're chosen, that's the color I'll send you. So see you tomorrow at noon. Don't be shy. Stamp and shout.